today's news, Soca on the Bay considered a success by promoter as it revealed plans to host several other genres on the Bay at the Fish Bay location.
BVI Film Commission hosts Media Fam Breakfast with top media professionals.
And different standards were used by the Commission of Inquiry to assess the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force internal issues when compared to other government agencies, says Premier Fahie.
The first Virgin Islands ecosystem accounts published and the BVI-Asia Abroad Scholarship Programme already grabbing the interest of locals with approximately some 20 submissions in less than a month.
All these and much more, viewers, when 284 News return.
You value traditions. Today, you value music. You value education. Family. I love you. Service.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
Welcome everybody, it's Monday, December 20th, 2021. We're coming to you live and direct from the beautiful British Virgin Islands. I'm Ron Grant.
And I'm Kamal Haynes, viewers, and we start today's newscast following an eventful weekend. Well, we would have seen Soca on the Bay added to promoter Kenny Thompson's list of successful events when the show, which was the territory's second major event for the calendar year of 2021, concluded over the weekend at Fish Bay on Tortola. The 284 media was there to report on the event. Take a listen. Well, good night, viewers. I'm here at Soca on the Bay here at Fish Bay, Tortola, where we have one of the main events for this weekend, sponsored by 284 Media, Fuse, and obviously some of the other major content, especially CCT, as you can see behind me. We have some very special performance here tonight, viewers. From Vibe, we have Boss, we have Ricardo Drew, the British Virgin Islands and the Virgin Islands, the US Virgin Islands' very own Adam O, and obviously we have Patrice Roberts, who's one of the main acts here tonight, who's here to kill it all, as we would put it in for layman's terms. And what we have today, viewers, what we're going to give you somewhat of a glimpse of what you might have missed out on, and for those who would have viewed it, just give a recap of what would have taken place here today, Saturday the 18th of December, viewers. So just stay tuned, enjoy the content. It was a night to remember for many of the soca lovers who came out to the event to enjoy the performances of some of their favorite soca artists, whether it was from Adam O's hit song Wine and Dip or Patrice Roberts' Tender. It was an overall consensus based on the crowd's reaction that they were there to have a good time. Well, I spoke to the organizer of the event, Kenny Thompson of KT Promotions, who said the event lived up to his initial expectations.
Well, I mean, the event is living up to what we expected. You know, the artists, they're delivering, you know, they're doing a great job. People enjoying themselves. You know, we're trying to feel normal again with, you know, people trying to feel like, you know, we're getting back to, you know, how life, you know, was, and, you know, we get in there.
But Thompson also spoke on what it meant to be able to pull off an event in this COVID-19 climate, which has dealt promoters a serious blow in the entertainment industry. Well, he said it shows that the territory is returning to some form of normalcy as it continues to coexist with the COVID-19 virus.
I mean, I don't know if words could explain it. That's the thing, you know, it means a whole lot. I mean, it shows us that, you know, like I said, that we're getting back there. I mean, this venue is awesome. We try to choose a venue, you know, that would, you know, that's something that's conducive to the times. Something that would give us some space. You know, we by the sea, the breeze, people have enough space to move around. You know, so, you know, we put a lot of thought into it, and it feels really good. It feels really good.
And what does such an event does for the economy of the BVI?
Oh man, I mean, it's a whole ripple effect. You know, I mean, everybody benefit. You needed to buy a new outfit to come to the event. You know, we had a few persons that came in, stayed in the hotels, got a couple of rentals. You know, so it's a ripple effect on the economy.
But Thompson said that the success of the event at the Fish Bay location will result in more events to come at the same location. Well, he said this will include other genre of events on the Bay, which will include reggae and jazz.
It just shows us that there's a lot of potential and, you know, bigger things to come. There'll be more events on the Bay. What we try to do is, you know, we've been waiting so long for an event, so we wanted to get the best of what's there right now. So we got the best of the BVI, you know, we got the best of the USBI, we got the best of the Caribbean, you know, all on one stage tonight. So, you know, we just wanted to bring it together. And I mean, like you said, they're delivering. In terms of logistics, we're in COVID times, you know, so it's logistics is a challenge. You know, it's every island they have to touch to get here is a different set of regulations, a different set of tests. So, you know, but hey, you know, we made it.
So lastly, to it for me, I just want to congratulate you on having a successful event. You're known for having very big productions here in the BVI in terms of events. Congratulations on another successful event on behalf of 284 Media and CCT. Thank you very much.
And thank you. And we also want to thank 284 Media for partnering with us, because without you guys, we couldn't have done this, right? And we just want to keep that cohesiveness and just keep the relationship going for better things and bigger things to come in the near future.
Well, we also ran into opposition leader Marlon Penn, who spoke on the benefits of the territory being able to host such an event during the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, he said it is a good thing for the BVI's economy.
No, I think it means a lot for the economy. It means that we try to get things moving back again. At least try to do things where the economy starts to move, people start to earn some income. After 18 months of inactivity, I think it's a good thing for us to move forward. I'm happy to see that persons are respecting the protocols, persons are wearing their masks, they're keeping a distance, they're being safe. Despite the fact that we're open up, we still have to be cautious and be vigilant about COVID-19 virus as it's still around us.
Viewers, you would have seen, you would have heard from the promoters, you would have heard from the artists, you would have gotten a glimpse of what would have taken place here at Soca on the Bay. And according to the promoter, it was a success, and you would have seen for yourself, it was a success. We from 284 Media as well as CCT, we want to obviously, you know, thank you guys for tuning in, and until next time, I'm Kamal here from 284 Media. Thank you for joining us, viewers. Around a night to remember indeed, despite the showers of blessing that would have somewhat interrupted the vibe. You know, it was a great event overall.
Absolutely, and we're looking forward to much more events as KT Productions promises. Viewers, continuing on, Premier Minister, the Honorable Andre Fahie, and United Nations Assistant Secretary General, Mr. Luis Felipe Lopez Calver, have agreed to extend the Virgin Islands United Nations Development Programme Memorandum of Understanding on Cooperation until November 2023. Now, the MOU provides for UNDP support to the VI regarding sustainable development, COVID-19 recovery, blue economy, and disaster risk reduction. Speaking on the extension of the MOU, Premier Fahie said, and I quote, "The Virgin Islands partnership with UNDP has been tremendously helpful to progressing the sustainable development of the society. In the first year, we benefited from 2 UNDP workshops that highlighted available UNDP assistance to the VI in the event of a natural disaster. A UNDP grant was given to one of our local small businesses participating in the UNDP FUT tourism, and UNDP has committed once again to forthcoming technical assistance in the area of blue economy early in 2022. Now, viewers, the relationship will go from strength to strength, says the Premier, in the years ahead as we get closer to completing the National Sustainable Development Plan. The government will benefit from UNDP assistance with implementation of this said plan." In his letter to the Premier, the Assistant Secretary General, who is also the UNDP Regional Director of Latin America and Caribbean, said, and I quote, "We believe this partnership can be instrumental in unlocking opportunities for the achievement of the SDGs and the 2030 Agenda, including, of course, mainstreaming the SDGs in international policy and plans, accelerating their implementation of and providing technical assistance for secretarial analysis, promotion, and of course the blue economy and other relevant activities, such as addressing socio-economic impacts of COVID-19 and other external shocks such as natural disasters, financial crisis, or pandemics." Now, his representative in the Eastern Caribbean Subregion Ms. Valerie Cliff, UNDP resident representative, in a statement also highlighted the potential viewers for the VI and UNDP relationship to be a model partnership between SIDS and DUN. She said the Virgin Islands are a regional champion in many areas related to the achievement of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and promoting resilience in the Eastern Caribbean. Now, for UNDP, the partnership is an opportunity to unlock opportunities and mainstreaming, of course, the Sustainable Development Goals in national plans. She said, "We trust this collaboration can become a model for many of the other SIDS," Ms. Cliff said. Now, the VI and UNDP originally entered into an MOU on cooperation on November 2nd, 2020. Great stuff coming out of the government of the Virgin Islands in relation to our partnership with the United Nations.
Indeed. Well, viewers, up next, different standards were used by the Commission of Inquiry to assess the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force internal issues when compared to other government agencies, says Premier Andrew Fahie. And we also get to the first Virgin Islands ecosystem accounts published. We get to these and more stories after a word from our sponsors.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, Premier Andrew Fahie, while reiterating that his government does not have anything against the recently concluded Commission of Inquiry, said he believes they should have delved more deeply into the issues within the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, as done with many of the other government entities. Premier Fahie made a statement in a recent media release as he responded to questions posed by local media on a number of topical issues. Well, he said similar to how the COI took apart entities such as the Customs and Immigration Departments, they should have done the same to the local police force instead of allowing them to police themselves with several of their internal issues.
Commission of Inquiry didn't dive enough into the police, and I could say that very clearly. They dealt in the customs, they dealt with everything else, but the police was allowed to police themselves, and this is not against the entity of police. That's just what I saw. But I wouldn't get enough further into that. I will wait to see what the recommendations are, and we're going to defend the name of the Virgin Islands with all that we have. We want to make sure that nothing is done to retard the political advancement and the constitutional advancement that our foreparents have given unto us as a government.
Well, Premier Fahie also made it clear that his government's only issue with the COI is the manner in how it was administered, stating that his government does not have anything against the overall purpose of a COI. Well, he said he will be awaiting the overall report following investigations to see whether it will attempt to retard the progress that the BVI has made politically to date.
Acknowledge there are areas for improvement, but that is every government in the world. And I stated that before, that we really don't have anything against the Commission of Inquiry at all. And persons tried to make it sound that way. We were concerned about the way that it was administered. We were concerned that it isn't a Commission of Inquiry isn't something to just spring up on. So the respect of being duly informed, or even if this the signs were seen, and you were told there were other methods like Section 56 of 5F, I think it is, of the Constitution, like I stated before, that could have been used. So the question would be, was it something in someone's mind and they wanted to make sure that they carried out and try to brand the country in a certain way, despite their areas that need improving, so that they can achieve a more ultimate goal. Those are things that we have questioned out loud, and we'll have to read to the reports to see. I'm not going to...
Well, viewers, the leader of government business also said that he is willing to accept the recommendations once they are targeted at improving some of the existing issues. Well, he said for those areas which his government is concerned about, they will be exercising their democratic right to challenge those recommendations which they may deem questionable.
In the report, I'm sure that he'll list some areas that we need to improve upon, and we'll accept those. And if we list other areas that we are concerned about, then this is the 21st century. We have democratic rights as a people and as a government. And I don't think that no one should bully us or make us feel intimidated that we cannot exercise them.
Well, viewers, that was the Premier of the Virgin Islands, Honorable Andrew A. Fahie, and Ron, some interesting comments. Obviously, he would have been commenting on the situation that would have happened over the process of the COI, where we would have seen a number of different government institutions basically, having their day in front of the COI for their hearing, basically to talk about some of the internal issues, to speak on the whole issue of good governance, to see what was really going on within the institutions. And according to Premier Fahie, he believes that more should have been done and said regarding some of the internal issues within the RVIPF.
Well, one of the things, Kamal, we're also following at our agency is the relationship between the government of the Virgin Islands and private businesses as it pertains to the relations and business concepts. The COI has brought through a lot, but make no mistake about it, in the COI and the happenings and investigations of the COI, a number of local businesses and their leaders have come under attack. And one of the questions I asked the Honorable Premier in a recent press conference is whether or not, not only outside of the scope of the COI, does he think that it will be become more difficult for persons to want to engage in business with the government of the Virgin Islands. I think that's something we have to consider. The protocols and the procedures seem to need tweaking, but at the end of the day, are we going to face a scenario in our Virgin Islands where businesses and companies feel so under attack that they no longer want to engage in contracts or business with the government of the Virgin Islands? That's a story you can look forward to. But viewers, continuing on, the Virgin Islands has published the 2019 ecosystem accounts that would provide evidence in, of course, support to the environment and economic management of the territory of the Virgin Islands. Now, these ecosystem accounts generate environmental statistics that complement other national economic and social statistics, such as the GDP and demographic trends. Now, this evidence can support policy development and decision-making, including decisions which impact on the environment and the benefits it provides, action on climate change, including mitigation, adaptation, and resilience to impact, delivery of internal initiatives such as the UN Sustainable Development Goals, a green post-COVID economic recovery, and in particular, a sustainable tourism sector. Minister for Natural Resources, Labor and Immigration, the Honorable Vincent Wheatley, said, and I quote, "Determining the economic and financial contribution that a healthy ecosystem provides to the Virgin Islands is of vital importance to the balanced development, conservation, and protection of its natural resources." He continued by saying future ecosystem accounts will benefit from additional information currently being gathered on the state of coastal, marine, and terrestrial habits, and of course their direct benefit to several sectors, not the least tourism. Finally, he said, part of the project's legacy is the strengthening of capacity of local practitioners to advance future updates to national green accounts for the territory. Honorable Wheatley stated that the Virgin Islands are blessed with an abundance of natural assets estimated to contribute benefits worth at least $125 million at an annual value. Now, these benefits, he said, include the attraction of some of the world's most beautiful beaches. I can attest to that, for tourism at some $47 million per year, coral reefs for the coastal protection at $74 million per year, and terrestrial and marine ecosystem sequestering, of course, our carbon at $4 million per year. An additional difficult to the measure values such as the biodiversity that makes life richer to both local inhabitants and visitors. He said, and I quote, "The ecosystem accounts provide a framework for measuring these benefits and produces evidence which can help to address several fundamental questionable policies and planning." The minister also said the account was developed with financial support from the Darwin Initiative, funded by the UK government and delivered through a partnership between FTEC, the Joint Nature Conservation Commission, and the Ministry of Natural Resources and Labor and Immigration as part of the Caribbean Overseas Regional National Capital Accounting Program. Support is also provided across 4 other Caribbean overseas territories, including Anguilla, the Cayman Islands, Montserrat, and Turks and Caicos. Now, Secretary General also of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, has described ecosystem accounting as adaptation of this economic and environmental framework is a historic step, he said, towards transforming the way we view and value nature. No longer will we allow mindless environmental destruction to be considered as progress and also economic progress. Global Director for Environment, Natural Resource and Blue Economy Global Practice, World Bank, Karen Kemper, she added that ecosystem accounting is a giant leap, viewers, towards measuring nature's contributions to the economy. Kamal, quite a conversation that we have continued over and over to discuss, but understanding, and one of the things that I really appreciate about the Honorable Minister's statement is he really puts into perspective the economic cost that the ecosystem and the environment has. As we talk about beaches and coral reefs, we take it for granted, but when you put a monetary figure to it, I think it's important, and it puts it all into perspective, viewers.
Well, I think what is interesting, my thing is now they have somewhat of a, he said the ecosystem accounts being published now. It's interesting to find out how they came to these numbers, $125 million in terms of the annual value, and this would have included, as he said, the beaches, the coastal protection zones, etc. To me, is how would you weigh in, what it's worth in its entirety? Because as we know here in the BVI and most places, you don't pay to go to these places.
Correct.
So I can only assume that it's measured based on how many persons come in via cruise ship vessels to the territory, and then how much money they make off of such, and then do somewhat of a calculation to come to somewhat of an assessment and an ultimate conclusion to then put a monetary value on it. Well, viewers, up next, the BVI-Asia Abroad Scholarship Programme already grabbing the interest of locals with approximately 20 submissions in less than a month. And BVI Film Commission hosts media fan breakfast with top BVI media professionals. With viewers, we get to these stories when 284 News return.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a brand new season of The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. It doesn't always involve suits and, bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men. This season, I'm taking you on an entirely different journey, from chefs to dancers, philanthropists, communications specialists, and much more. I'm heading outside in the field to share the journey of some of the BVI's best and brightest men. From East End to West End, Bojangara, Jackson Lake, not forgetting Anigata. Our Virgin Islands gentlemen are doing the damn thing, and I'm so proud. Get ready to reason, reflect, and redirect. We are the movers and shakers of this generation, and we ain't afraid to show it. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 3 by yours truly, Ron Grant, raising a generation of greatness.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, approximately 20 BVI Islanders and residents have already applied for the BVI-Asia Abroad Scholarship Programme, which was launched less than 1 month ago. But the scholarship program is a joint initiative between the BVI Hong Kong office and the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, Fisheries and Agriculture. A political economy officer of the BVI Hong Kong office, Ms. Syra Wheatley, in a recent interview with 284 News, revealed that there was already great interest shown towards the scholarship program from local residents. Well, she said although there are only 30 slots presently available for the first cohort of applicants, residents can continue to apply as there are plans to secure even more tuition waivers going forward.
Surprisingly, because we expected some hesitancy, especially with the whole COVID-19 pandemic going on, but we have about 20 applications so far. I haven't really delved into what the subject areas are, but I was quite surprised to see so many applications already. And I can only hope that more persons will apply as we begin to disseminate more information about the program.
And is there a limit that you guys are capping at in terms of, we're only looking at 30 persons for the scholarship? Is there a particular limit?
So for this first round, because we've just launched, we have 30 tuition waivers already. So we are trying to fill 30 spots, and that's 15 undergraduate degrees and 15 postgraduate degrees. So for this cycle, there's a limit of 30 applicants.
And will this be somewhat of an annual something going forward?
Yes, we hope that the program will continue on. That's the plan. We're looking at more cities to include into the rota. So places like Korea and Japan that have innovative hubs as well that people can benefit from studying.
Well, Billy also explained the basis of the scholarship program, stating that there are a number of different subject areas that interested persons would have the opportunity to choose from.
The Asia Abroad Scholarship Programme provides the opportunity for Virgin Islanders, both citizens and permanent residents, to study at top-ranked universities in the Asia-Pacific region. As some persons may know, we have a long existing relationship with Asia already that spans 30 years, and that's from financial services. So we're quite interlinked with the financial markets of Asia. However, as Asia and the region itself as a whole continues to grow in importance, we saw the opportunity to diversify areas of collaboration to include things such as educational and cultural exchange.
Okay, so for some of those persons that may be wondering, what are some of the subject areas being covered? I know you spoke on the financial services industry, which is a huge aspect of the relations between the Asia and the BVI. Is it limited to only financial services, or are there other areas that will be covered on the social scholarship program?
There's a wide variety or spectrum of studies that people can pursue. We're encouraging persons to look at the local labor needs and then choose subject areas that cater to those needs, because at the end of the day, the scholarship program is an investment into the development of the territory, so the long-term development. So there are a number of subject areas, as I described, such as public policy, diplomacy, marine studies, tourism, etc., that students can choose from.
Well, the scholarships are based on a three-way funding model between partnering Asian universities, the BVI government, and the private sector, in which awardees are eligible for a combination of tuition, housing, return flight tickets, and a living allowance to cover the cost of the degree or short study programs. Ms. Wheatley further explained how this three-way funding works.
Three-way funding, as you described, as I mentioned, the base of each scholarship is the tuition waiver, which provides tuition-free study, and that's provided by our partner universities. But then you have to think about costs such as the accommodation and the cost of living. And that's where a government grant or a private sector award then comes into play. So it provides a holistic package for the financial assistance. So you get the base of each scholarship award from the partner university, and then the additional funding from the partnership between, or the collaboration between the government and the private sector then assists with living costs, your airfare, and then of course the cost of accommodation.
And is there a cap on the amount given to a person through the scholarship offers? Because we do know that for some persons they would, obviously benefit from the scholarship that may be valid for a 3-year period. And, some unfortunate situations may occur where they may fail a course or two and they may prolong the duration of the course to that of 4 years. And what happens in such situations like that under such a scholarship?
Well, in terms of any requisites with extensions or whether you fail or not, I think persons would then have to refer back to the ministry and the scholarship committee, who would then make a decision on that. For financial cap in terms of the scholarship award, it's not like the national scholarship program where you're not provided with a tuition waiver, so you have to pay tuition itself. It's more financial assistance because you're already provided with free tuition.
Well, viewers, that was the Political Economy Officer of the BVI Hong Kong office, Ms. Cyril Wheatley. Well, we also did speak to the Honorable Minister for Education, Dr. Natalia Wheatley, who would have commented on the initiative following a subsequent media release, where he would have spoken as it pertains to some of the benefits such as bachelor's, master's of doctoral degrees, programs, and many other things that this initiative will offer viewers. Just log on to our webpage at 284media.com and you will see the full story regarding this initiative, viewers. But that's all the time we have for today's newscast. I'm Kamal Haynes.
And I'm Ron Grant. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful rest of the day, and be sure to check in all our social media handles for the latest in regional local, regional, and international news. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.